Hello, I'm Bryan Lapidus. I recently sat down with Jason Ang, Vice President of Finance Transformation at Singapore Post Limited, to discuss the findings of our survey measuring agility in FP&A. In our talk, we focused on three key findings from the survey: staffing's role in being agile, workload's effect on agility, and the cultural mindset of an agile organization. I hope you find his comments as insightful as I did. Enjoy. 27% of respondents either disagreed or strongly disagreed with the statement that FP&A is adequately staffed. At the same time, 54% were on the other end of the spectrum, saying they agreed or strongly agreed that they were adequately staffed. Why do you think there was this split between the negative and the positive?
If I was to, I suppose, hazard a guess, I think for those who feel that their organization is adequately staffed, I think they come from and represent organizations that have placed a significant premium and priority on the FP&A function. I think where they come from, the organization we have seen FP&A as a enabling function and have since then make an investment on headcount, leading them to feel that way, right? On the other hand, on the other spectrum, I think there are those who feel that they are inadequately staffed, right? I suppose they come from organizations and they represent organizations that have not necessarily placed a significant emphasis on FP&A function. And that happens in regards to headcount investment as well. And to worsen it, I think some of these organizations where FP&A is not seen as a key function, those guys have to deal with competing priorities as well that are not necessarily in their official mandate. So that could lead them to feel that way that they have expressed in the survey. I think, Bryan.
I really like your point of view and the split. I guess, what does that mean? What would you say to the CFO who are putting see their people on the low end of the spectrum that they're not investing? What's the risk for that company, and what would you say to those companies?
I think that maybe the CFOs have not clearly seen the value of FP&A as a function. Clearly, FP&A function exists in the organization to do the things that they're meant to do. So all these factors will weigh on, I suppose, the function's ability to then do the things that matters, right? For example, monitoring the health of the customers or key suppliers, right? These are the things that are the bit more proactive side of FP&A rather than the reactive side. And that's shown in the survey, right? And I think these are the things that FP&A are meant to deliver to the rest of business. And if CFO does not see that, then we're in some sort of trouble, I think.
I actually wonder, agreeing with all of that, I wonder if it's not only a reflection on the FP&A organization, but a reflection on the CFO. There are some organizations where the CFO has defined value as keeping the books and maintaining the control environment, and that's it. And there are other CFOs who have seen value as bringing financial skill set, acumen, modeling, capital, that capital efficiency mindset to the rest of the business. And maybe that's the split, that the FP&A organization can't grow beyond the limits of what the CFO is constricted to.
Fair statement. I think it's up to FP&A practitioner to convince and persuade as well, right? I think the future of finance is very much where we need to be thinking proactively, thinking of the future, planning strategically. We can't just be seen as a function that is keeping the lights on, right? So I think FP&A is right, because smack in the center of that sort of things that we're trying to push in the future of finance. Right? So I think an emphasis should be placed in the function.
So if 54% agree or strongly agree that they're adequately staffed, but 2/3 agree or strongly agree with the statement that they're working at or above 100% capacity, to me, that strikes me as the opposite of agile. If you are working at 110% of capacity, how can you be agile?
That's right? I think I think that points to the I think the possible question about what is the right level of utilization, right? I think in terms of the team, I think the level of utilization should be where the teams are able to manage their day-to-day responsibilities and have that room to really plan ahead, plan strategically into the future, and engage with the key stakeholders, right? The rest of business. I think if the FP&A teams are finding they've only got time to react to issues or find themselves swept into competing priorities, then that is not the right level of utilization, and obviously that can hinder their ability to be agile. Right?
This was the question that had the largest difference between the people that we had defined as agile leaders, the top 20% of people who scored overall on the survey, and the core respondents. So the question was, culturally, FP&A has a team ethos of continual improvement. For example, experimentation, new methods, or disruptive ideas. Agile leaders scored really 4.7 on a scale of 1 to 5 on this, right? So nearly 100% said agreed with this. My question to you would be, how do you focus on this environment? How do you, and you're in a transformational role, how do you create this transformation of this change, this cultural idea that we need to change and build agility into the DNA of finance?
Yeah, I think it's a tough journey. I think we've reflected on that earlier, right? I think first of all, which is tough, is to create a culture in the team where I suppose continuous improvement is placed as a priority, right? Where learning and development is emphasized, and there is space for learning. Obviously, when everyone is just hot and bothered with multiple competed priorities, that's going to be difficult. So you're going to make room for teams to have space for learning and development, right? You need to create a culture. I think you also need to create a culture where people are allowed to fail as well. We need to create a psychological safety net where people know that the leaders have their back if they fail, right? And leaders obviously have to walk the talk and role model as well on that, right? And I think last of all, I think to create an environment where there's continuous improvement and agility, we want to be able to empower the team, right? Empower the team so that they feel that they are able to make decisions on the spot, so that they can move fast and react fast as well. I think that's key.
It really sounds like you think that management has to create the environment that allows all those things.
It has to start from management. I think the tone from the top, it's crucial.
Many thanks to Jason for his insights here today. And thank you for watching. You can download the full results from the survey at afponline.org.